2026 off the right way with the most hated man in combat sports. You've seen him on 3 times so far. 3 times?
2 times.
2 times on BKF-Sea. Both victories, undefeated record. 2 phenomenal call-outs already. This is Lex. Grizzly Bear, we still go back to the old one? Ludlow.
Yeah. So it's like the most hated man in combat sports, Lex, the Grizzly Bear Ludlow. That's how I like to have it. But like the most hated man in combat sports, that's more of just, it's not really a nickname. It's kind of just a brand. You know what I mean? Kind of like how Chael has Bad Guy Inc. I'm kind of going to run with that as my brand, I think, as the most hated. I got to get that trademarked before somebody tries to steal it. But yeah, dude.
It was not you, it's Dylan Dennis. So, I mean, like, you have to be Dylan.
Well, the thing is, right, everybody loves me, though. They don't really hate me. It's like, it's kind of like the Stone Cold 2000 or the Stone Cold WrestleMania 17 effect. Like, he turned heel and he was supposed to be a heel and everybody was still cheering him. You know, everybody still loves me. So, but you know what? I'm still going to try to live up to the most hated man in combat sports. Everybody seems to love the brand and the name, so I'm going to run with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's catching on. I mean, like, we went from you being just opening up the free parts of the card to being at press conferences now.
Yes.
Like, talking to Dave at the press conference, too. And now you fight a homeless guy in Zach Calmus.
Yeah, we're fighting the homeless guy.
And, you know, on KnuckleMania, the WrestleMania of BKFC in Philly. Like, not even going to, like, Jersey or anywhere else. You're home in Philly for KnuckleMania, headlined by, like, probably the best KnuckleMania card so far. I know we're only 6 in. But how's that feel? Like, how does that feel to be not only, like, at press conferences on the BKFC truck? You're everywhere.
I'm everywhere, dude. I feel like that I'm finally getting, you know, like, I shouldn't say finally getting. I worked hard to get here, you know, MMA record, obviously not the best. Didn't go the way I wanted it to go. But, you know, me and you have talked about regional companies and how I felt like I was treated and whatnot. And, you know, BKFC does not need to treat me this way. You know, they're not a regional company. They're clearly a national, about to be international company. You know, they're traveling the world now. So they're, in my opinion, I don't know if you agree with this, but I think they're number 2 in the world. I think PFL took a little bit of a dip, unfortunately for them. But Dave keeps saying, you know, he thinks they're going to be number 2 this year. I think they're number 2 already. And I'm very glad and happy to be a part of that. And I really like the way that I'm treated. I'm always treated with respect. I treat everybody with respect. And BKFC treats the fighters good, no matter what you hear. Like, no company is perfect. Like people are always going to have complaints, but, you know, no complaints on my end. There's a lot of other fighters that I talk to that don't have complaints. From the time that I show up to the time that I go home from the fight, I'm treated like a person, which is what I want at the end of the day. And you know, at the end of this, bro, we're not going to be able to do this forever. You're not going to be able to do this podcast forever. I'm not going to be able to fight forever. So, you know, at the end of the day, I think when you treat somebody like a person, you treat them with a level of respect, that goes a long way with me. So I'm very happy to represent that company, and I'm really grateful for all the opportunities they always give me.
Yeah, I mean, and to kind of referencing back to that, I think when we did our first interview, it was before your debut,
right?
And I think the kind of question was, why are you doing this?
Right.
And I think you kind of answered. I'm going to paraphrase extreme here. It's going to be kind of a Pat Brady kind of answer was also is why not?
Right.
And it kind of felt when we talked the first time that it was not a one and done, but a one and what's next.
Right.
And you came back and you won again, and then I know from the crowd at your second fight, like I picked up on something. I think I had a picture of you in the crowd, like. After your fight, like you came out, and you know, after you kind of like washed up and came out and all, like you're sitting there bullshit with Dave Feldman, like, right? Again, if we talk about the number 2 organization, like the guy who was like the opening bout on the main card, usually not talking to the owner,
right?
Like you're usually like, "Thanks for coming. Like here's your check. Like we'll call you," and you're there, you know, talking directly to them,
right?
I mean, outside of that, you're on the let's just call it the BKFC show. I know it's not like BKFC show, but it's their show.
Right.
You're on there all the time too, and you're always welcome. Any BKFC, any bare knuckle podcast now, you're on as well. So it's kind of showing not only the organization treating you, but the fan base is accepting you too. Which, like, I don't want to say it's not hard to do in bare knuckle, because I think there's very few people don't like in bare knuckle, because I think the idea of, like, no one leaves unscathed.
Right.
Like, I think even in the last fight, you weren't really touched up a lot, but like you could tell you were in a fight.
Right.
And I think that's where the respect comes too, is like, you know, every punch leaves a mark in bare knuckle, and I think that kind of like connects with the fans more too.
Right.
But I mean, even then, you know, building into the number 2 thing, like, you don't see no MMA promotion doing a cruise. I don't know how the BKF-Sea cruise is going to go, but like, no one else is doing that, and that just shows the different, like.
I think he said that. So when they port wherever they go, I forget where they go. I think they leave from Miami, and then when they port, the show is going to be where they port. So I don't think it's going to be on the actual cruise itself. But yeah, dude, I mean, like, it's smart. Like, think about, like, are you a pro wrestling fan or no?
Exactly. And the Chris Jericho cruise?
Right. And that was a brilliant idea, right? Like, you know, get people to go on there. You have comedy shows. Like, throwing my name out there to have me up there and talk crap for an hour if they were to invite me on the cruise. Like, you know, people will think that's hilarious. You know, like, they would want to see Lex Ludlow talking crap on the cruise for 1 hour. You probably have some low-level bands on there playing. I'm trying to think of ways to keep it cheap. That way you're not, like, you know, crossing over too much of a budget. But, you know, meet and greets. There's so many things. There's so many possibilities you can do with that cruise, and then to land and then have an event, and then you know, like, let's say they go to, like, Mexico. You know, like, even if you don't even want to go to the event, which everybody there would on the cruise go to the event, but you know, you can explore Mexico for a day or two, and then that's it. And then on the way back, you got to go on the way back, and you got to hang out with Lex Ludlow or Johnny Garbarino or Mike Perry or whoever's on that cruise, Ben Rothwell. Who is ever on that cruise? You know, a ticket alone, let's say it's like $500. I'm just guessing. I don't know what the prices are, but, you know, to me, that's worth the price of admission to get on the cruise, because, you know, you're gonna have your free sodas, unlimited food. You're gonna have you can buy alcohol vouchers. Like, I've been on one cruise ever. I'm just naming off. I don't know what their cruise would be like, but I'm just naming off my experience with the cruise. You know, you get an alcohol voucher, but, like, dude, like, I remember, like, when I went on my cruise, there's a thing like the captain's dinner, and I remember I got filet mignon, and when, you know, filet mignon's tiny, it's 6 ounces, you know, so, like, me, I can eat like 12 of those. But I remember, like, the waiter came up to me and was like, "Would you like another one?" And I'm like, "What? Another one?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "It don't cost something?" Like, I asked him like 100 times. It doesn't cost anything. And he was like, "No." And the filet mignon tastes good. It was like if you were to go to, like, a nice restaurant and get a filet mignon. Like, the food there is good, dude. So on the cruises, at least. So I think that's a really smart idea, dude, and I think it's a really great way to build up your fan base even more. That's the one thing about BKFC, dude. They give back to their fans a lot, I think, with content. You know, BKFC apps, like I think it's like $5 or $7 a month or something like that. Like, other ones are like 10, 12, you know, $15 a month. I feel like any way they can just give back to the fans as they can, and that, in my opinion, that's what separates them and the UFC right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Like, I did one cruise as well, and I was actually on, like, a themed cruise, kind of like what this will be. And mine was like concerts. Like, we were literally doing concerts while out at sea.
Wow.
And like Flogging Molly, Frank Turner. I watched karaoke with, like, Noodle from the Offspring. And
Wow.
it was like,
All right.
like, you're just sitting here like, why are you next to me?
Right,
And like,
yeah.
that's how this BKFC is going to be. It's going to be like, you're going to be just out there grabbing your filet and being like, why is Ben Rothwell scarfing down 13 steaks next to me?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, and lobster, like, and whatever else he's eating.
Yeah, that's just how it's going to be. Like, I don't think they know how to promote this yet to, like, what it is probably going to be.
Right.
Like, I think this is kind of like your Dave Feldman special, where like he has a vision, and it's going to come back tenfold what his idea is.
Right.
But and that leads us again to the other vision, KnuckleMania. Last year they did their first one in Philly.
Right.
They sold out, set records. Now they come to a now terribly named venue called Xfinity Mobile Arena to do the same thing. They're going to break the records again.
I believe they did sell out.
Yeah, I think if it's not sold out, like we're talking like hundreds, if that remaining. Which even at that point, they do call it a sellout still. But you could still get a ticket, but you're probably up in the rafters. And at that point, like I'm watching it at home if I'm in the rafters, but like the atmosphere is what you pay for anyway. It's not so much like being the best seat in the house up in the 300 section. It's the atmosphere. Same thing with the UFC. You don't go there for the UFC just to watch it. If you want the best seat for UFC, it's at home on your couch.
Right.
But no, the atmosphere, and that's another thing that Dave does well. Like these shows just I think I was at the Philly card for your second fight, and I think it took 3 punches for me to text everyone saying I will be at every show in Philly. Because it was just like it was a train wreck instantly. And then like it was cool to see also like on the other side, like people who I'm cool with winning. Because like it fucking sucks to see your friends lose.
Exactly.
And,
yeah, it does.
Especially like when you realize like you could be in the 10th row and still hear the flesh connecting.
Yeah, it's something different, dude. Like, I will say that. Like from hitting somebody with a glove to the bare fist, like it's like a smacking noise. And like I remember with the first shot I landed on Rumsey, it was like a left hook, and I was like, "Ooh, God!" I knew that hurt him immediately. Like I knew that like the fight was not over, but I just knew like I just gained like a ton of momentum, like with that one punch. And to be honest with you, I like that. Like I do like that's what I do like about it more than MMA is that like like every shot that I threw against him was, I'm not gonna lie, like it was a kill shot. Like I was throwing as hard as I could with every punch. Like there was I didn't care if I broke my hands. Because I know what type of fighter he is. He's the type the way if he builds momentum, he starts to build confidence, and then the fight will start slowly go his way. So I knew if I could not scare him, I don't really know the word for it, but like take him off guard kind of right from the beginning and take that momentum away from him, I knew it would be my fight from the get-go.
So making the transition from MMA to BKFC, because we do see more and more still continue to do it.
Right.
First fight to the second fight, have you noticed a big difference in how you took the fight?
I have a lot more confidence now, like in my stand-up. As I think if I were to go back to MMA, I think I'd be a lot of trouble for a lot of people. Like even like I know my record's not the best, but as you know, I train with the Dawkins brothers. Like Kyle like says that like even Kyle thinks that I would do very well against some of the bigger names that you would think. Like we're not talking like guys that are currently in the top 15, but like the guys that used to be in the top 15 that like for example like Mearshart. Like I had to train with Kyle for that fight, and I did. I said to him after the fight, I said, like how do you think I would do against him? And Kyle was like, oh, you would walk through him. So like the way I grew because of BKFC, just winning and like being comfortable, like striking, like I think that if I were to go back to MMA and knock on wood, I think it would go in my favor a lot of the matchups. And but like MMA, you got to be like smart with your matchmaking for a little bit. You know what I mean? Especially like where my record's at with MMA right now. Like I would have to take smart fights for a little bit until I could get to I would want to get my record to like 6-4 before I take like that big fight where I looking at like a PFL or like a contender series kind of thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So basically what I'm saying is I would want to fight a bunch of cans before I get my I would want to build my record up a little bit. The Khabib way, you know what I mean?
Most said the Russian way, the the Northeast
Yeah,
way, if we're being honest
yeah,
too.
yeah. The lot of it's funny you say that, dude. Northeast, dude. A lot of guys do that Northeast. A
Yeah.
lot of guys. But no shame in that. I mean, everybody kind of does it now. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, when the UFC lays the game plan out, where they care more about the O in the loss column than who you actually fought, um, that's what leads to that as well.
Right.
The other one, punching. Like, did you notice anything different between first fight and second fight there too? Because like I've heard a lot of people who like they don't because you don't train bare knuckle. You train
No,
with with gloves on because like you're not going to break your hand in sparring, and you
I
can't
hit,
really
I
spar
hit,
bare knuckle.
I hit bare fist.
So
So
you do like the heavy bag roll
pads.
bear.
We don't have a heavy bag where we're at now, but they're in the process of putting it up. It's a new gym, so they're in the process of putting it up. But when I hit pads, I hit bare fist. And to be honest with you, if you hit pads bare fist, it's pretty much the equivalent of punching someone in the face. Like it feels to me it feels the same. My first fight, my hands weren't hurting at all. And if you rewatch it, I stopped throwing in the fourth round because my hands were vibrating. Like I never felt that before, and I wasn't sure if I broke them or not. I mean, I've never broken a bone in my body. I've only torn my knee. So when my hands were vibrating, I was like, I don't know what's going on here. I'm gonna take this round off and like just kind of try to like like not lose a round, but like because I knew I was up 3 rounds, like clear as day. But I was like, I'm just gonna try to like like keep my distance and be smart about this because I don't really know what's going on with my hands. Um, and the second fight, like I told you, I did not give a shit. Like if I hurt my hands or not. Like I was coming to kill him. I ended up hurting my hand a little bit on the fourth knockdown. And the one thing I did, so future BKFC fighters out there, current BKFC fighters out there, what I found is if you make a fist as hard as you can, um, you won't hurt your hand that bad when you're hitting. When I dropped Rumsey the fourth time, I hit him with like a double left hook, and the one I think I caught his tooth in between my two knuckles, and it just messed my hand up it was messed up for like 2 months from that. Like I could still grapple and hit and everything. It was like a nerve thing. But it messed my knuckle up a little bit, but it's good for this camp, so that's all that matters.
Uh, when we get there in about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. Zach Calmus. What do you know about Zach? I know Pat fought him before. Your name was passed around a little bit to fight him earlier. Then he went and fought Willis instead. Didn't go his way. Um, so what do you know about Zach Calmus, and what if anything does he have that like impresses you? Let's try to be nice here.
Nothing.
We tried.
We tried. Uh, I think the only thing that impresses me is his toughness. But like I did it, I did 2 interviews today. I did a BKFC podcast, like not related to the company, like you, like a third party kind of thing. Um, he was talking about how tough Zach is, and I'll say this, like toughness only gets you so far, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Uh, Go back and watch his fights with like Bobo Bannon. Um, I study this guy all the time, dude. Like I watch his fights every day. I watched his boxing match that he did a month ago every day. Um, you know, the only way he beats me, dude, is if he cuts me or he catches me coming in or something. Something like I gotta be like dumb. It's gotta be like a dumb mistake on my part, But what like I've been doing a lot. I did a lot of interviews today, and I'll say this and this too. I'm known as a wrestler. Everybody knows that about me, right? Like maybe not a lot of these BKFC fighters know this, right? But I wrestled my whole entire life, right? Since I was 5 years old. I didn't do that good my first 3 years in high school because all I wanted to do was kind of go play video games. But undefeated as a middle schooler, did very, very good as a kid in the youth program. Freshman year didn't do good because I didn't care. Sophomore year, junior year, just didn't care. Was fat and wanted to play video games and hang out with my friends. My senior year, I took it a lot more serious. I didn't make it far postseason. But what I realized is when I realized my wrestling was really good is when I started to do MMA. And I've taken down everybody I've ever fought for the most part. I think there's only one guy that I didn't take down. And so I know I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here, but I'm getting to it. I'm known as a wrestler. I've taken down everybody I fought, everybody I train with gets for the most part gets taken down or thrown around. Um, it's weird when people in the gym are saying you look like a professional boxer. Like when so your whole life you're being told that you're a wrestler and you are a wrestler, and then in like just this Saturday, dude, like Chris Dawkins sent me a text and said a lot of people are saying you look like a boxer, dude. That's so I'm starting to learn how to actually box, and I'm starting to learn how to actually sit on these punches and give it to people, dude. You know what I mean? Rather than be standing in front of someone and just be like, shit, I gotta take this guy down. I gotta take this guy down. How am I gonna get him down? How am I gonna get him down? Like I can actually stand there and predict where the fight goes. We can cut angles now. Zach's in a lot of trouble for this fight, dude. I don't think he realizes that, man. But maybe he does because I DM him. I DM him a lot, dude. I talk a lot of shit to this guy, and it's everything. Like it's not just online. Like I talk shit to this guy, and it's not personal. You know what I mean? It's just psychological, and I know what I'm doing, and just he's just not on my level, brother. And I really do believe that I will be the BKFC world champion, or not, or close to it at least. I really feel like this fight will put me in that trajectory where I will be fighting in a title eliminator or possibly even for the title after this fight. I could see myself jumping over the top five and getting a title shot, dude, or being in the top five and not having to fight any of those guys. The only person I could see them putting me against in that top five is Chris Camozzi, and it's because he doesn't have an opponent. I mean, the only reason I say I'll get a title shot is because Sakara doesn't have anything lined up either. So there's two guys right there that and 205 is a very weak division for them. You know what I mean? It's not like heavyweight is stacked. I think I'm ranked like 20 in the world on boxer right now. I was like 18 or something like that, but I haven't fought in a while. So like all the bare knuckle guys in the world, they've been a little bit more active than I have. But so I got pushed down a little bit. But 20 in the world at heavyweight, about to be probably for BKF-Sea, I think I'd be number 5, number 4, somewhere around there after this win. I'd hope so at least, but I mean, I'll be 3-0, so with 2 finishes. So I think we get Zachary Calmus out of there in the second or third round, and that's only because I want my TV time.
And I mean, I think BKFC wants you to have the TV time too, because I think both of your post fights kind of went. I know the second one went viral. The first one kind of went like, "What the fuck did he just say?"
Right. Yeah. It went like that one went like semi-viral. That like got people's attention. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? The second one was like, whoa, that went viral. The press conference went super viral.
Yes.
That one went very viral. This one, dude, this post-fight interview is gonna be like the icing on the cake. Like this is where I think like it'll put me, I think Mike Perry is like their McGregor.
Mm-hmm.
So he has his own tier. You know what I mean? But I think I'll be in that tier right below him. With all the top guys because I think I already have it planned out in my head. I don't know exactly how it's going to go in the actual when I'm doing it. All I need is 3 minutes. That's all I know. I need 3.5 minutes.
That's one thing that stands out to me because obviously there's a lot of fighters who come in with like, I know who I'm going to call out when I win. Very few can do that with a promo though.
Right.
I mean, literally the last one, it went from basically like, hey, he's an emperor, which is a god, but he's not God. Jesus is God. And like you jumped like 18 loops to then call Chris Camozzi a bitch. Like you went from like Fedor to Yoel to Chris Camozzi's a bitch.
Right.
But it worked.
Right.
Like Kobe Covington could never do that.
Right.
And he's like the closest one outside of Chael who will like try doing that.
Right.
I know everyone knows because like, again, like I know Brian, for example, always wants to talk to you about your namesake. Obviously you grew up with the pro wrestling as well. How much does that feed into it, or is this you just seeing like I don't want to say you're doing it the Chael gimmick, but like how much is it a gimmick versus you just being you?
I think it's if you go to the gym at the Forge and you're in that atmosphere. Right now, I'm gearing up for this fight, so I'm getting ready to kill a human being, so I'm not as loud as I normally am. But like in the beginning of the pre-camp, in the beginning of camp, um, that's me, dude. That's me. Like when I'm home, like that's the thing, right? I know how to separate it all. Like this right here, this is me. This is me at home. I'm dad and I'm Lex. I'm a husband at home. You know what I mean? But when I walk out that door, I'm Lex the Grizzly Bear Ludlow, the most hated man in combat sports. You know what I mean? So I know when to turn it on. And you know what? I did a Zoom call with BKF-Sea. They did it with all the fighters on the card. And the one thing that I don't want to talk too much about that call. I feel like it's a personal call, but the one thing I will say about it is what Dave's right hand man Serge said to me. I don't know. He doesn't have an official title. I don't know. He's pretty high up though. He said to me, what they really like about me is that I can turn it on and I can turn it off, meaning that I don't live that gimmick 24/7. Like when the cameras are on, that gimmick's on. But when the cameras are off, I'm shaking Dave's hand. I'm talking. I mean, very polite to Dave. I'm very polite to Serge. I'm very polite to Nate Shook. Um, I'm very polite to everybody. You just gotta. It's so. I said this in both the interviews today because similar things got brought up, just different ways worded, right? Like how what you talked about. So at the end of the day, regional MMA, take CFFC out of there, right? CFFC is regional MMA, but they have a pretty big broadcaster with Fight Pass, right? So put them out there. Like Art of War, Dead Serious, Ring of Combat. I don't. Does Ring Combat have a big television company or no?
They are on their own website.
Okay, so that's a
So
regional
they were very
promotion.
small. Yeah.
That's a regional promotion to me. Ring of Combat. So we'll just keep those for example. That's regional MMA. Okay, those are fight businesses. Okay, they rely on you fighting, you selling tickets, you putting the asses in the seats, right? And that's how they make their money, right? BKFC, CFFC, they still sell tickets, but BKFC still sells tickets, but they're bigger to me. CFFC to me is like the NXT. So that's where you start developing your character. That's where you start figuring out who you are as a personality, right? So what I'm trying to get at is BKFC, mainstream television company, sort of design. Um, UFC, mainstream television company. PFL, mainstream television company, right? Those are no longer just a fight business. That you are now in the entertainment business, right? Because you have TV executives watching, you have sponsors watching. There's a lot more that goes into it, right? You need to know how to entertain other than just doing this, right? You got to get people watching you because when the sponsors come, those TV executives will call and say, "Hey, we don't want Lex Ludlow on the prelims of KnuckleMania. We want Lex Ludlow at the main card, wherever at in the main card. We just want him on that main card, right?" Chael Sonnen. Do you think like, for example, do you think like if they're doing a pay-per-view, right? Do you think let's just say they're doing Fox, right? Because he fought on Fox, right? Do you think Fox wants him on the if Dana White put Chael Sonnen on the main prelim, the featured fight of the prelims, right? On a Fox card, do you not think that the Fox executives would go, "Whoa, what are you doing? Why are you
Exactly.
doing that?"
Like you want the lead in, but you don't want the character as the lead in. You want the
Right,
character to be Bo Nickel. There,
right,
that's probably another great example. Is like Bo. I don't think Bo has never been prelims. He was supposed to be. Then the fight fell off, so he got moved up. But
right.
like the whole talk was, why is he not in the prelims? Like who has he beat? And it's like,
Right.
do you know his following?
Yeah, he's got a big following.
Like, is everyone from Penn State tuning in? Honestly, probably. Like,
Probably, yeah.
like it's one of those ones where like that is a probably. So make them at the time. I mean, it's no longer a thing anymore. But like at the time, make them pay the $80
Right.
because they're going to.
Right.
They're going to pay $80 for that one fight.
Right. Sorry
Like they
for
might
my
tune around and have it on as a drink, but like they're tuning in for that one fight.
Right.
And
And
you,
that's how I look at it though, bro. Like I don't look at it this just as a that's what separates me a lot from these other fighters. I don't look at this like it's a fight promotion. I look at it as it's an entertainment company. And at the end of the day, I have a lot of fighters that DM me, dude. A lot of fighters asking me what I'm doing, how I'm doing this, and I don't really tell them. I don't really give them advice because I just it's not that I don't know. Like it's just like you're not in my. It's no offense to them. Like I'll be your friend, but you're just not in my circle. You know what I mean? Like my circle is Chris Kyle, like Pat Brady, John Merck, who's our boxing coach. Like everybody at the Forge, that's the circle. You know what I mean? I'm gonna help these guys out before I help you out over here. You know what I mean? I'll push you in that direction. I'll give you some advice. You know what I mean? But like I'm not gonna like give you all my secrets. You know, I gave a lot of big secrets today, like about like how I look at fighting because I guarantee you, not a lot of people ever think like that, especially fighters. All right,
I
go
mean,
lay down, baby. Okay, you go potty first. Sorry about
it's all good. We all gotta go potty.
that.
One of the, I mean, a great example like we kind of just mentioned was it was Kyle.
Right,
Like we talked off camera, and I can say it publicly because Kyle knows my stance on most of things. Like when he was initially released, everyone tends to bitch and moan. Kyle said, "Give me everyone that I need to beat to get back,"
right.
and he beat everyone that was put in front of him. Didn't matter the record, didn't matter the name, didn't matter who. He's a guy who I'm sure gonna Jimmy probably talks a lot, but like fight wise, he fights.
Yeah,
And little by little, I mean, that timeout, it stacked up because he's back and back
yeah.
better than ever.
And he's got a big following now, dude. And he's got a lot of momentum right now. But like, so I'm glad you brought that up. So like, not everybody needs to talk shit, and not everybody needs to be this personality because sometimes it'll come off as fake. You know what I mean? And it'll come off as not genuine. You know what I mean? And that will push people away. Like for example, like I call like my nickname's the most well, my brand is called the most hated man in combat sports, right? But everybody loves me, right? But they love me because they get it, they understand it. You know what I mean? That's why they like it, and they love that they can see the pro wrestling ish in there. You know what I mean?
It's the end. It's the Hollywood Hogan where like he came out in the black and white NWO, and you're like, I'm supposed to hate him, but like
He's
it's
so
still Hulk
cool.
Hogan.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like cool. Yeah,
or
yeah,
you
exactly.
kind of referenced earlier to like the Steve Austin, like the anti-authority Steve Austin. Like who doesn't want to Stone Cold Stunner their boss?
Right,
Like
exactly. Yeah.
that just like that exploded because it felt natural because he was like the loose cannon and all that. Um, that's why kind of why I asked him like, what's the gimmick and what's not the gimmick because like I've met you off camera and you kind of mentioned like how you are. Like, you're out there shaking hands and kissing babies. Like you're there. And again, does that happen at something that's not BKFC? Probably not because like that's just the atmosphere the promotion puts together.
And you'll
And
see me doing that after this fight, dude. You'll see me walking in the crowd. You'll see me shaking hands. You'll see me meeting people, and you'll see me taking pictures with people. Because at the end of the day, dude, it like it. I remember when I was a kid, and I would go to these Monday Night Raws, and like, so I made a video. We did the tailgate for BKF-Sea at the Xfinity Mobile Arena, and I kind of stepped away for a minute from everybody, from the tent they had, and I wanted to go walk up to the arena because it's been a while. I went there like 2 years ago to bring my kid there, but when I was a kid, I would go there to watch Raw and SmackDown, and I would in the back of the arena. There's like a tunnel, and that's where the wrestlers go, and they park inside the arena, right? So I was making a video and I was showing Chris and Kyle that I used to stand at this gate at the top to see like Vince McMahon walk in, like Triple H with his huge bust would come in, and John Cena and like just every name you can think of, right? But then I was telling them in the lower wrestlers, they would park in the parking lot right behind that because there's like stairs that go up there, I guess. And they would have it blocked off by security, and you could go over there and you could stand at the guardrail that the security would have, and you can get their pictures and whatnot. I met like Matt Hardy. I met D.H. Smith, Harry Smith, his name is. I met Natalia. There were so many wrestlers that I met. And just for them to, finish the show and come out there and shake my hand and take a picture with me when I was 14 years old meant the world to me. You know what I mean? So for me to go and take pictures with these people and uh, sometimes, bro, I even listen to their stories. You know what I mean? Like, there's one guy that goes there. He's paralyzed from the waist down. He's been to both BKFC shows. I sat there. I just got done a fight, dude. You know what I mean? And not a lot of people would do this. And I sat there and I listened to his story, and I really appreciated that story so much. And now every time I see him, I give him a hug, I give him a handshake. Um, I really feel like those are the people that are really going to get you to where you want to be. You know what I mean? Because they're the ones that are now like you leave an impact on them, and now they want to watch your fight. And you know what I mean? Like I know that guy. That guy's actually a cool dude. Like he's talking shit, but like like he's an amazing guy. Like he took the time out of the day to take a picture of my son, brother. I took both my fights. I probably took like over 100 pictures of both those nights. You know what I mean? I like to give back. That's all it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's all full circle. Like I always use the baseball analogy where kid gets a foul ball, he's hooked to baseball for most of his life until he realizes how boring baseball is.
Right.
And same thing, like I commend it. I mean, you brought them up earlier, Art of War. They do trading cards. I thought that was the greatest thing ever because again, you put a trading card in your hand and you're walking around. You see a little kid. You hand the kid a trading card. And you sign it. That kid is now locked the rest of his life.
Right.
It's just that building connection, and it sounds kind of shitty to kind of always keep targeting the kid on this one because we're both dads. If the kid asks enough, the answer is going to eventually be yes.
Yeah.
You lock the kid, you get the parent too, and
Right.
turns out
Exactly. Yeah.
parents have the wallet. So, but no, I mean, KnuckleMania, Xfinity Mobile Arena, worst name ever. You beat Zach Calmus. You send him back to the homeless shelter. I'm assuming at some point in your post fight, you're going to call out Chris Camozzi among who whatever names are on your mind at that moment. You write the script though.
I
What is your
did.
next fight?
Uh, Chris Camozzi or Alessio Sakara for the title. Um, I just think, no offense to the guys in the top five, I don't really know a lot of them. I only know the Hawk guy and then the other Hawk guy. I know they're fighting each other. They both have like Hawks in their name, Mohawk, and then something else. I forget their names too, but I know they're duking it out. No offense to them, and no offense to the rest of the top five, but I think I overstepped, dude, and I either get Chris Camozzi or I either get Alessi Sakara. I think I get that special treatment just because of the how fast I'm rising and how fast the attention that I'm getting. You know what I mean? Um, Realistically, if we want to be realistic, I think I fight Chris Camozzi. I don't think I get a title shot. I think that would even I would be like, I mean, of course I would take it, but even I would be like, oof, man, like just jumped over the entire top five and got a title shot. Like, you know what I mean? But I think I get Chris Camozzi. I think me and Camozzi are gonna get a big fight either where he's from or in Philly. I think there'll be a lot of promotion behind it. I think it'll be a very, very big fight. And I think the
Yeah,
winner of that would get the title shot.
I think putting like the matchmaker promoter hat on that probably makes the most sense.
Right.
Looking at, I mean, not to toot my own horn, but when I did the reel, like it was easy to pull your post fight wording and kind of like make it a promo there.
Hmm.
Easy way to pull like your Chris Camozzi call outs from every spot that you called him out on so far.
You got a lot of likes on
Hit
that reel too, dude.
that thing is popped, yes. And I think just it's I don't want to say it's the easy matchmaking path, but it also makes the most sense too. You you win here by finish again. You fight Chris Camozzi. You beat a former champion. that makes sense then to be a title eliminator.
Right.
I can't say the same for Chris. I can't say if Chris wins, he gets a rematch. I thought that fight with Alessandro, or I can't say his name.
Alessia.
Alessia. I just know that he's an old dude that debuted in Philly and was in the UFC for years. And definitely older than I thought he was.
He's the tougher fight. He's the tougher fight out of the two, in my opinion, though.
Yeah,
he's the. It's just because the way he fights. He down and he walks forward, and he's definitely the tougher fight out of the two. Camozzi hides behind that jab, and he likes to run a lot. He likes to play peekaboo. I'm not kidding when I say he's a boring fighter. He gets knockouts, yeah, he gets TKOs and stuff like that, but it takes a while, dude. It's like, fuck, man. And the way he fights is just he's like more of a point fighter. He's like a karate point fighter that eventually gets the knockdown. It's just horrible to watch. And I'm not gonna play his game. I'm gonna be in his face the entire time. I'm gonna put the fight on him for sure. And it'd be a tough fight for him, dude. You know what I mean? I'd be curious to see how he does against me for sure. But he's a southpaw. I train with the best southpaw in the world, in my opinion, right now. So, I think I'll be okay.
And I think you and Chris both being from the U.S. probably helps out a lot too.
Yeah,
I would assume the title fight would probably be in Rome or wherever the dude's from. I know it's overseas.
He lives in Miami, but he has a huge following. So he trains at American Top Team. But he's like their only major fighter ever.
Yeah.
So he's just has a huge following. No offense to Italy, I'm sure Marvin has a big following there too, Vittori. But there's a reason he was in Bellator for a long time, dude. And Bellator would literally go to Italy just because of Sakara. So I feel like BKF-Sea plays the same playbook that BKF-Sea Bellator did with him. You know what I mean? And it's smart. Bring him over there and fill an arena just for that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean you figure. I mean again, just easy basic. I mean, this is territorial pro wrestling. Is what it comes down to. Is you use the hometown crowd guy to sell the tickets.
Right.
For Italy or Rome, Italy, for even easier, you put him on there. Garbarino and the co-main or the feature bout before co-main, right there, don't even need to promote. Those two alone are going to sell.
Right.
And no, I think that's a good path. And then again, it's also weird to think you're only going to be at 3-0, and we're already talking title shot because there's really not, the division's not there yet. BKFC is growing, but the divisions they're not rushing it like a PFL.
Right.
Where you just sign everyone who's not under UFC and hope it works.
Right. So. Dave and his team are doing a really good job, in my opinion, building this up. You know what I mean? When I remember I watched one of their first events and I was just like, oof, this is not for me. I just always thought boxing was boring and I never really gave it a chance. But after seeing it now and the production and everything, dude, they could potentially be a threat to UFC down the line. You know what I mean? If they play their cards right. I mean, it's a hard thing to catch because UFC is so established and they're so far up in the chain right now, and they're a high level international brand. You know what I mean? So as opposed to BKFC, that's probably mid level national right now, in my opinion. But they're growing.
Comparing a 30-year-old company versus
exactly.
a barely 10-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah. But for the rapid that they grew, if they can keep going at that, yeah, dude, in a matter of time, it's only going to be a matter of time until they start threatening the UFC and the UFC tries to buy them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which, of course, definitely a monopoly would never do that. So usually we talk for 10, 20 minutes. We're at 45. I'm going to pass the mic to you, though. I'm sure by now you have a shitload of sponsors and everyone else to shout out. So I'm going to pass the mic to you to kind of shout everyone out, and we'll wrap it up, and we'll see each other in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
I just want to shout out the Rook, Alex's Pizza. Pizza's phenomenal there, dude. I mean, I personally haven't had it, but if you go on their Instagram and you look it up, It looks amazing. So the Rook is going to is going. I got to talk to BKFC. I keep forgetting to do this. They want to cater the blue corner for me, but they're going to bring in like a couple hoagie trays for after everybody's fight. So I got to talk to BKFC about that because I definitely want their food after I win. How funny would that be if you're doing the press conference? I'm just up there eating a cheesesteak. Like that would be hilarious, right? Um, so the Rook, Alex's Pizza. I got another pizza sponsor, Pizza City. I got Ferrari's Landscaping. There's a lot more, dude. That I'm not. A few will hunt. They're making my custom shorts this fight. I got a big Grizzly Bear on the front of the shorts, literally custom made, like from scratch. Made in America, but
Right in Philly.
right. Trying to think of some other ones, dude. I got a lot, dude, but I apologize. The Honest Real Estate. Um, I can never do it off the top of my head, dude. It's all written down on my phone. You know what I mean? And I usually just throw them on the shorts and talk to you later kind of thing. But I try not to obsess too much with the sponsors. Like, uh, you know, they treat me very well. Oh, Life Med sponsors me now. That's probably my biggest one. I just got them like 2 weeks ago. Vinny's the man, dude. Life Med's pretty awesome. I really appreciate everything that guy's been doing for me. Uh, that's all I can think of right now, brother. But I always want to thank the Forge MMA, Chris and Kyle Dawkins, my good friends. Kyle is gearing up for something. I don't know what's going on, but he's gearing up for something. So look out for that. We got my teammate Pat Brady on the card. He's fighting Bear Hill on the main card. I think that's all the fights we have booked right now. But trying to think of some other people. My wife and my kids, you know what I mean? Can't live without her and can't live without these kids. As much as the kids drive me crazy sometimes, you know, but that's kids, you know what I mean? So I got four of them. So, you know, it's like four different personalities, but I couldn't live without them, dude. No way in hell I could live without them. But that's pretty much it for me, bro. And then 2 weeks from now, 2.5 weeks from now, I'm going to put Zach Calmus on his ass and we're going to send him to Ice Wars.
Yeah, I mean, that was another part too. Is like when you say you go back and forth with him on like online, it's comments.
He doesn't answer me. He doesn't answer me. That's the thing. So I'm kind of just talking to myself. But go ahead. What were you saying?
But I mean, that's the thing that like in the comments, like, I've seen you basically say like, this dude's going to Ice Wars. This guy's going here. This guy will do anything besides fight me. And it's just funny because like any other time you see fighters, they usually block each other.
Yeah.
Or like totally ignore each other. It's between like you two are tagging each other like on your promotional post. Yeah. Pat and Bear are doing kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But in a much more friendlier way, they're both just like, I'm going to beat you up, and it's like we're going to both fight, and
I can't be like that. I can't, like, after the fight, dude. Like, I'll shake Calmus's hand and I'll congratulate him, but then after that, I give him a little pat on the butt and send him right back to Ice Wars and back to the streets of Boston.
So, but February 7th, Xfinity Mobile Arena. I hope I never have to say this name again. BKF-Sea KnuckleMania 6 stacked card. Like, there's no denying it. Like,
it's the WrestleMania, dude. They got to stack it from head to toe. You know what I mean? I really feel like that every fight is either a featured fight, co-main event, or main event. Every single one of those fights.
Yeah, because like, I just know when they kept naming fights, I was like, this is on the card?
Yeah.
I mean, again, old school MMA fan. Charles Felony Bennett's on the card. I still say maybe. I don't mean to insult the fight, but maybe. But like that,
I don't know how that's gonna go. I don't know how that one's gonna go.
I don't know. Like
that's a wild one. I can't wait to watch that one. That's probably like my fight that I really want to watch.
Because I don't know how that train wreck goes.
Yeah, that's the perfect way to say that. Yeah,
it's like, and again, this goes back to territorial wrestling. You're supposed to kind of like lead up and kind of like do this up and down. And that's how those cards kind of laid out. And then you end with Ben Rothwell and Andre Arlovsky 3 in bare-knuckle.
That's going to be a crazy one, right?
Like, I don't know how you don't tune into this.
I think people will. I think this
It
is going to be their biggest card they ever had. You know what I mean? I think they're going to break the attendance record. Um, I know for a I know for a fact, dude. It's gonna be their biggest card, probably of the year. I mean, it should be, right? It's KnuckleMania, you
it's
know.
definitely the biggest card of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, but they'll probably have like
They're
one other
supposed to
big one.
announce something bigger later in the year, but I don't know how you set this bar and then you try to jump it.
It's gonna be one hell of a ride, my friend. I cannot wait for it. I'm gonna have the horse blinders on when I walk out there, so I won't be looking at the crowd or anything like that until after the fight. Then you'll see me go nuts, and I'm gonna cut the best promo post fight speech you ever heard. I think this is gonna be the one to top it all, dude. And I think it's gonna be better than what anything Chael's ever. No offense to Uncle Chael, my inspiration, but better thing that he's ever done. Better thing that's ever. I think I've already beat Colby. Um, better than I don't know if I could ever be. McGregor wasn't really known for his post-fight speeches. He was really just known for the press conferences. You know what I mean? So I don't think I could ever hold a candle to that. But I could do. I'll do my best. You know what I mean? But the whole goal is to be. I just want to be. I want to take this company and I want to try to make it number one. That's my whole goal with it. That like I want to be a household name for them. I want to help this company grow, and I want to grow with this company. That's the whole thing.
Also, next up, February 7th, Xfinity Mobile Arena. Lex Ludlow versus the homeless Zach Calmus. Shark fight, whatever his name is. Best of skill. I'll be there, hopefully, if I get the credential like I'm supposed to. If not, I'll be watching from home. So,
Are you
best of
going to
skill.
be at the press? Will you be at the press conference?
That's what week of fight.
Yeah, that'll be like a Thursday or Wednesday.
I might be able to. I should be. So,
I just want people there that are actually going to ask me questions rather than just get asked by BKFC. You know what I mean? We had like the other one. The BKFC dude asked me, and then it was just like Pat and Garbarino like the whole time, like getting asked. And I'm just like, all right.
Yeah, I should be at everything. And then hopefully, definitely at the fight. So we'll catch up at the fight. In the post-fight media lounge. So best of skill. Always great chatting to you.
You too, buddy. God bless you.
Later. Bye.